Here we go, UFC 315, Muhammad versus JDM. We took Belal Muhammad plus 200 on the money line against Leon Edwards. All right, it was very difficult to persuade our community around it. Folks were like, there's no way, he's losing the fight. Patty Pimblett, Leon Edwards on that fight card. No, they're like the UK, the English fans. It was difficult. Even some Americans were very difficult to persuade. Belal Muhammad, he is just stylistically would be a nightmare for Leon Edwards. And we've seen this through and time again. Sean Brady, same deal. Now we're going to move down this fight card, but we do have Belal Muhammad. So no, we're fading Belal Muhammad. He will not get the title defense. All right, and we've predicted this many months ago, just like we predicted his win.
What I predict is Belal will lose the belt to Shavkat or to Ian Gary. However, the UFC wants to set it up. So Belal will rightfully become champion. Yes, equal opportunity. If you didn't like hearing that, yes, this Palestinian will win the belt. Equal opportunity. America. That's what makes America great, okay? And then they're going to strip it. That's what makes America even greater.
Beskat Al-Makhan. This is the guy. Beskat Al-Makhan, if you don't know, this is the guy who fought Umar Nurmagomedov. All right. It was a very difficult grappling exchange for Umar Nurmagomedov because Beskat Al-Makhan was able to bounce back on his feet. This is like a very green Peter Yan, folks. And I like Brad Katona here because of his clinch game. He can subdue you on the canvas. He can box. He takes a hit. But I think he's very due after so many decision robberies, man. Like, he's very due. And you know what? I find a theme on this fight card. Canadian winning, Marc-Andre Barriault, Canadian winning. You have Jasmine Jasavicius, Mike Mallow. You see what I'm saying? I think there's a theme here, as always. Not always, right? It's been a little inconsistent here and there in 2025, but I like Brad Katona here on the money line, following the theme, following the stylistic matchmaking. If it is a robbery decision, it's going to Brad Katona. But you will see Beskat Al-Makhan, the best of him in the future. Daniel Santos, Jung Yo Lee. They rebooked Daniel Santos. Daniel Santos was supposed to actually fight about like 60 days ago. Not sure what happened. I think they said it was medical. But here we go. Jung Yo Lee's the guy that got knocked out by Haider Emil. He knocked out by the forearms of Haider Emil. Haider Emil was swinging left and right. Wild exchanges. And he gets him down from being against the wall, the octagon wall there, to a finish. All right, I was there. This is the same fight card where Cody Durden got knocked out by Bruno Silva. Cody Durden knocked out by Bruno Silva. All right, and Daniel Santos, troop box guy. He's okay, man. This guy can. He's a good deal. Troop box fighter. He's a good deal. I think that he's gonna have the grappling edge here. Jung Yo Lee's got those straight punches. He's a sniper, but Daniel Santos could work him against the wall. And I mean, I'm telling you, man, Haider Emil's striking was not polished at all, and he was able to take Jung Yo Lee out. That's wild. Did I want to see Daniel Santos win after pulling out? Absolutely not. Listen, if you want a more technical analysis on this, a summary, you will have it. Stylistically, who are the judges on UFC 315 Montreal? If you want all of that, you visit proschmobets.com. proschmobets.com. Simple. Okay, I'm just giving you an overview, a narrative analysis maybe here, skill for skill set. But if you want it thorough, you go on the website and you will find it there. Marc-Andre Barriault, here we go. Someone who will brawl, fist fight with you. Bruno Silva, who hesitates on the shots. Who knows? Maybe it's because he's outside his prime. Maybe he just strength and conditioning. Maybe he's just strength and conditioning and just trying to, keep it moving. Who knows, man? If you don't move to a gym in the United States, you really ain't anybody. Listen, Navajo Sterling, for the most part. Navajo Sterling, Ivan Erslan. Ivan Erslan had a good outing with Ion Cutelaba, but he wanted to cruise the third round. He got taken down, and that's all she wrote, folks. UFC, why did they sign him? Who knows, man? But I do know that 90% of the bets on that fight card were on Ivan Erslan. Does that have something to do with it? Who knows? Navajo Sterling. I know Perth, Australia, New Zealand, that region of our hemispheres. is got a great deal. They penned a great deal with the UFC. All right, TV rights deals, venues. We need Navajo Sterling. All right, we need Navajo Sterling. Modestas Bukauskas, Ian Cutelaba. Cutelaba is finally in his prime, in his stride. Modestas Bukauskas' striking is incredibly predictable. All of it, the shot selection, the sequences, and very latent. Ian Cutelaba, he's got a sambo experience, wrestles, he's grappling you, he can strike you to death. It is what it is. Jessica Andrade, the number 7. Here we go, Jasmine Jasudavicius, who lost to Natalia Silva. Jasmine Jasudavicius was green with Natalia Silva, who's on this fight card when they faced off many years ago. Since then, Jasmine has improved her striking incredibly. Jessica is too undersized, though she does possess the overhands, and she could definitely work around the octagon. I think that, again, because Jasmine Jasudavicius is Canadian, if Jasmine would get knocked down, or look like she did against a boxer in Natalia Silva, she's getting the decision. No way she's going bust on this card. I do agree that Andrade is 33 and Jasmine is too old, but the trend for women's MMA is the older fighter is winning over the younger fighter. All right, if you don't believe me, go look on the UFC fight cards from January till now, May. Mike Malone, another Canadian fighter. What's he gonna do? Just wrestle Charles Jet Radke, win a decision. If you want the stylistic matchmake summary on this, all you got to do is visit us on the website. Visit us on the website. I was going with another guy, French Quebec, Montreal. We're going Benoit Saint Denis, but Joel Alvarez is injured. He just pulled out of the fight. There we go. See what I'm saying? I'm telling you, there's a theme here. Alexa Grasso, man, she fractured her ankle. In addition to had a surgery repair for tendons and so on and so forth in the hands. Natalia Silva, wow, what an athlete. What an athlete. Lateral movement, great footwork, incredibly powerful in the prime of her life. Alex Grasso, good for her. She's won the belt, and then she's had to give it back. Shevchenko, it's okay. All right, it's Natalia Silva on the money line. I mean, there's no other way to put it. You're not taking down Natalia Silva without getting your arm cut in there. All right, so you'll get it caught in an armbar or something. Jose Aldo, Zahabi. This is where the parlays may go bust. I'd like to see Jose Aldo go out as the King of Rio here in Montreal, but why sign him and lose to Mauro Bautista? You know what I'm saying? When he's streaking again, proving that he's one of the greatest. But of course, UFC likes to rewrite history. He's like, they phase the old, bring in the new. It is what it is. You got no legacy fighters in the UFC, man. Yeah, you technically do, but not without like crazy losses. Adesanya going on a 3-fight skid. Muhammad Usman, Jose Aldo now. Come on. You know what I'm talking about? It's wild, man. I wouldn't be surprised if Johnny Jones loses his fight to Tom Aspinall and Dana retires with him. It's how it goes. The biggest money grab in history. When that line is published, I'm smacking Tom Aspinall only for that reason. It's not conspiracy, guys. It's business. There's a difference. Valentina Shevchenko, Manon Fiorot is stuffing Valentina Shevchenko and taking the top control to steal a round or two. Shevchenko's going to regret not striking on the feet with Fiorot, but she's coming off of injury, right? All undisclosed, all right? And we're talking about injured 3 months into the year, and then again after her fight, I think as she was strength and conditioning at a gym. So her and Alex Grasso share the same fate. Now, I know you guys are going to say, guys, I've never seen where 2 belts get handed off to opponents on no UFC fight card. In other words, no 2 champions, okay, like you see here. Shevchenko and Belal Muhammad will hand off their belts. You're wrong, all right? Ironically, when Figgy fought Brandon Moreno was a minus 140, minus 150. Guess what Manon Fiorot's odds are right now? Minus 140, minus 150, okay? I think the same line makers on this card, all right? So just to prove it, you can't hand off championship belts in one night. And I like it here, where Belal Muhammad, Jack Della Maddalena, moves on, passes on the torch. Hey, listen, so at 36 years of age, Belal Muhammad, I believe, was the one and only, maybe one of two who won a championship belt, okay, last year. Now you have Alexander Volkanovski, but I guarantee you that Diego Lopez was the side. I don't even think the UFC was hoping. They knew the technical fighter, how Volk can counter, how Volk would have an edge, but they were just hoping, Lopez would land that shot. And he did, but he didn't follow through, right? You saw that he was stumbling. Volk was stumbling, near stumbling. Now you have Belal Muhammad, who's been preaching about boxing. He says, I'm one of the best boxers in the UFC. I could, you could hold me to it. And I know why. Because he knows that Jack Della has a ground game. He knows Jack Della is well-rounded. And he knows Jack Della is in his prime. That age, my friends, that age matters. You can't be 37. Belal Muhammad will be 37. You can't be 37 waking up and being the greatest of all time. Habib didn't do it. Makhachev won't do it. Folks will not be able to do it unless you're a heavyweight like John Jones. But even then, I told you earlier in this prediction video that I think Tommy's got his number. And Dana White is retiring with John Jones following that loss. Okay? So Jack Della Maddalena, how does he get it done? I mean, I've seen Muhammad get clipped before. Gilbert Burns is, stylistically, of course, with Muhammad, you know how that fight goes. These are two meatballs. But with Jack Della, man, Jack Della's just too clever. He's too fast. He's defending. His defense is going to win him this fight. That's just how it's going to go. And great uppercuts, maybe dirty boxing. I like the dirty boxing aspect here. I think that's going to help Jack Della Maddalena with Muhammad and the damage. That's really where I see it. All right, folks. So you heard it here first. For everything else, you visit the website, broschmobets.com.